Hello. So we're going to do a quick economic session today, and today we're going to talk about rationing. So what is rationing? Rationing is when the government limits the consumption of goods. Now, the reason to do this is because in times of war or in times of like drought, scarcity, the government might limit food and water, or maybe some other kind of good, like oil maybe. Now, the reason why the government does this is because of price spikes. Now, of course, if you have limited supply, let's just say over here, you have a nice little curve. This is your demand curve, and the supply is normal like this. But then, because of a really drastic drop in supply, as you can see, the price gets hiked. That is a big price difference. That is crazy. So, for the government to avoid the situation of price spikes, you want to basically give every individual a chance to consume the good. Especially if it's a necessity like food or water, you'll give them coupons, you'll give them allocations. And this way, it avoids the rich just buying up all the goods, stockpiling all the goods, and the poor getting nothing at all, which is where rationing comes in. So the reason why we ration is because we want a more equitable society. That is non-price rationing. So what I was describing then with the coupons and the allocations, it gives everyone in society an equal chance to consume the good compared to price rationing, which of course, as you can see, if you're able to pay the price, you're able to consume the good. But if you're not able to pay the price, you're not able to consume the good. Now, this is more efficient economically because that means those with the highest willingness to pay can consume the good. But what if you're just broke? Or what if you just can't pay for the resource? And especially if the good is, water or gasoline or something really important, like you can't cook without it, or maybe you literally can't live without it, then rationing becomes essential for the government to do. Which is why we take equity over efficiency in non-price rationing, which is the more humane form of rationing. Now, where does this come into budget lines and the indifference curves? So imagine we have a good X, we can consume 20 of it, and good Y, we can consume 20 of that. So of course you can see the ratio is 1:1, that's the market ratio, and then this is our indifference curve, and we're consuming at point A because that's where they're both tangent, price ratio MRS. So imagine X is becoming scarce, let's just say, and it's a really important good like gasoline, let's just say. Now, okay, if gasoline becomes more scarce, but we have the budget to pay for it, we should be good. But because of rationing, that the government limits our choice, limits the amount of gasoline we can actually buy. And that goes to 10. Oh, would you look at that? This is bad. Why is this bad? Because we can buy over here, we can consume at point A. We can consume this amount of quantity of X for this amount of quantity of Y. But when we get dropped to 10, that means we get less of good X and less of good Y because we're at the bottom left. Meaning it's going to be looking like this now. Point B, a new indifference curve. We're going to be consuming less of Y and less of X when we have the income to afford it, which is of course not good. Now, another situation could be where there's 20 of Y and 5 of X, and this is our point of A, but now because of rationing, we're able to consume even more. Oh my goodness, this marker is dead. We're able to consume even more of X, and it looks like this now. Now we're able to consume 10. So then, of course, this should be our new indifference curve. By the way, do not draw the new indifference curve. There is an indifference curve everywhere on this graph. It's going down, it goes up. There's indifference curves for every level of utility. But I just want to make it more clear to you, to show you that if there is a rise in our budget, if we can afford more, we will definitely buy more to maximize our own utility. So these are the two situations. Now, of course, you can make a situation where it doesn't change as long as it intercepts, but that situation is more rare. This is rationing, finished under 10 minutes. Thank you.